Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris and Jake here with Undiscovered Realm, and we are back from New York Comic Con, exhausted, and we are going to do a recap of the show, what the hot pops were, current pricing versus what some stuff was going for on the show floor, and then lastly, what we think the hot pops are going to be going forward. So like, not to invest necessarily, but the stuff you should probably pick up now versus waiting a little bit because it's probably just going to tick up. So, I mean, to start off, I'm sure you're aware New York Comic Con is the craziest show of the year. It's like the biggest show in the country, right along with San Diego Comic Con. Big difference being like San Diego is more of like a media show where all the big movie studios and TV shows and everybody kind of rolls out all their stuff because it's in the summer and they can hype everything up. Whereas like New York is also has a lot of that, but it's really as a vendor, it's the biggest buying show in the country. You have a lot of people flying in from other parts of the world, and they're ready to spend tons of money on stuff they can't get over there, so they can ship it back, fly back with it, whatever. Plus, just all the people that come, they save up all year. That's their show. So for us as vendors, it's crazy. Like our load in, it's like a 2 day process, and we typically work with like 4 people in our booth. At New York, we literally had a team of probably 14 or 15 altogether between driving and actually in the booth all week. So it's pretty crazy, and even with that, like you can't even so much as like go use the bathroom without it, being a huge process. It takes forever to do everything. You're exhausted. It's literally 20-hour days. Like on average, we were working like I'd say 6 a.m. Sometimes as early as 5 a.m. all the way to 2 a.m. By the time you get to the show, load everything in. You got to go through the fronts during restocks. We're all the way on the back wall, so we have to walk through the entire lobby, the entire Javits Convention Center. And then once the show actually starts, it's 10 to 7. By the time you get out, you start reorganizing everything, restocking what you have there, taking pictures. We come all the way back up to the store, and then we got to go through all our back stock and the trailer and restock everything. So by the time we're done, it's like 2 in the morning, and then you load everything in the van and you repeat. So even though it's like 5 or 6 crazy days, it goes by so fast because like you're just doing that. Like the small amount of sleep you're getting, you wake up and you're doing it again. There's nothing that's not Comic Con related for those 5 or 6 days. So that being said, it's an amazing show. I mean, you couldn't even. I can't tell you how many people came to us and were like, "I tried to get to your booth, we couldn't even get near you." And that's not just unique to us. That's just the show. There's so many people that you can't move. But we were consistently just like packed. Like you can't even. We try to like get. We sell out of a pop. We try to put more on the shelf. You can't even get to the booth from the storage area that's 5 feet away because there's just so many people. So but that being said, obviously every show, the hottest items are the show exclusives. And with Funko, you have to win the lottery. Us as exhibitors, we're not allowed to even enter the lotteries with our badges. But what happens is a lot of people who do win, they come, they trade with us, they sell us stuff. So you end up acquiring. So we've pretty much gotten a full set. A few of the pieces are packed away in the trailer, but we have 95% of everything that was exclusive at the show that we can show you today. And we'll go over the other stuff. There's the big boys like Pink Chrome Batman, the Matterhorn Mickey, the Freddy Funko by Ron English, and then some of the other stuff like the Officer Freddy, that's like one tier down probably, Baseball Fury. Even some like other stuff like the pop of the show was definitely Iron Man, Tony Stark. You could not get it. Even if you won the Funko lottery, they barely had any. Like if you were like 50th in line, they were out every day because they had the Loungefly booth next door, which is also owned by Funko. And if you're not familiar with them, they make like wallets and bags. They're nice pieces. They're like, I wouldn't say they're like high end, like like a Louis Vuitton or something like that, but they're not like the normal crap you buy at like the mall.
I did like the pattern on that.
Yeah, they were nice,
especially the one with the Iron Man. It was really cool. It kind of had the gauntlet and then also the nano gauntlet that Iron Man had at the end.
Snapping.
Then they were both snapping, and that was really
cool.
Yeah,
it was like a repeating pattern.
Yeah. For $60, that was like awesome value.
So that was the thing. They had a bunch of bags, and they were $60 on average. And if you bought the bag, you got the Iron Man pop for free. They also did that with the Star Wars bag with the Sand Trooper, and then they had some Hello Kitty thing, and you got the Hello Kitty Statue of Liberty. But because of that, all those pops ran out really fast at the show. Iron Man was insane. So the Loungefly line was like wrapped around, and I get it. It's smart on Funko's part because this is like one of the few times they make full price on their items. They usually wholesale out to stores like us, and Hot Topic, and whoever. So for them to now, instead of making $15, they're making $60. They're also selling you a bag, but it was a steal because that pop in particular, you couldn't even find it on the show floor. If we had hundreds of them, we would have sold hundreds of them, and we had none. So, but they were going for, and they still are going for like $180+ right now with the official sticker. So it's insane, and people were begging for it at that price. So $60 to get a bag and that pop is a steal. But you still had to wait in line for like an hour or two on the Loungefly line, and when you're at the show, you're trying to do so many things, and even if you're there for all 4 days, you still barely get to see everything due to the crowds and just how much there is to do. It's really the mecca of all shows. Luckily that particular pop was shared with Amazon, and if you manage to pre-order them, they're only going for like $45-50. But I think that's going to be like the fastest rising pop out of the whole show.
I mean, obviously anything Marvel is pretty good.
But then there's like stuff like
Marvel,
Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel, Nick Fury. Like those are always going to be okay, but they're never going to be like on that. That's on another tier altogether. Yeah. So let's go over a few things. Like, I'd say in our own booth and the stuff people are asking for the most, definitely Pink Chrome Batman to some extent, just because it was the most expensive one. It was going for between $300 and $400 as the weekend went on. They started drying up and they started shooting up in price. Matterhorn Mickey, actually nobody. I mean, one or two people asked for it. Most people were looking to sell it just because it was going for $200 to $225. And I think it's one of the numbered pieces. There's only 3 numbered pieces being at this show: Pink Chrome Batman, Matterhorn Mickey, and the Freddy Funko. But for whatever reason, people were kind of ignoring this one, and it's kind of a niche item. If you're not a big Disney collector or a parks collector,
I think it's also the price.
Yeah, it's a more expensive just because of the size. But I think that this is definitely going to be one to watch out for. All the Disney stuff shoots up regardless of being numbered. And when they make the other park ride with Mickey at the Disney World, that's going to shoot it up as well. The other big ones people were asking for, besides the big 3, were Baseball Fury, definitely the next biggest one. I don't know how this is going to be. I mean, obviously the Warriors is a popular movie, but it definitely is rooted in New York. So maybe the crowd here is definitely looking for it a little more than the rest of the country. I don't know. But they definitely did a good job with stuff like that because they had Baseball Fury for New York. They had the Statue of Liberty. They had the artist series, Edgar Allan Poe, Keith Haring, and Biscoe. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but whatever. They have the 3 pigeons, so they really tied this into New York, and that's not something they usually do outside of like maybe the Statue of Liberty Freddy Funko a couple years ago.
And then also the pigeon. One of the pigeons has the pinstripe outfit on, which is also
for
the Yankees. And then they also had Babe Ruth.
Yeah, and Babe Ruth, which is not pictured here. That's one of the ones that we don't have with us right now.
Yeah.
So they did a really cool job with that. And those were all really popular. The pigeons definitely were really popular, and they weren't going for a ton. They were only like $40 to $50 for the 2 that were sold at the Funko booth. The pinstripe one was only available at the New York Comic Con merch booth, which is kind of cool. I don't think they've ever done that before. So like once a day they would, on the New York Comic Con app, push out an update saying, Paulie the pigeon has landed, come get him now at this booth, and he'd be gone instantly. So he was going for a little more, and he's still hovering around the same, like $70, $75. So that's definitely, of the 3, the hardest one to get. We probably had like 1 or 2 of those all weekend where we had, probably 5 or 6 plus of the regular ones. What else were people asking for? Obviously, Marty McFly.
Stanley.
Stanley going back to Marvel. That's always really popular. Everybody wanted Stanley. Anytime we got one, literally, no exaggeration, 30 seconds it was gone. Like, we couldn't even get it. Like, as soon as we picked it up to put it out on the shelf, somebody was taking it. Like, it never even made it out. The My Hero and Dragon Ball anime is always huge.
Bluntman and Chronic.
Yeah, Bluntman and Chronic was really big. And there was a lot more of those on the floor because FYE had a booth there, and that was one of the shared with FYE. So, you had your chance, even at the show, to get it outside of the Funko booth with the shared sticker. The 2 My Heroes, definitely very popular, Stain and Dabi. Piccolo and Vegeta, especially Vegeta. Surprisingly, actually, so over by Jake, the Mandalorian and the Sand Trooper had really strong pricing. One of the surprising pops price-wise for us was the Sand Trooper and the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, not as much because it was only shared with Funko Shop. It's also, Mandalorian and the show's coming out, so the hype is there. But the Sand Trooper, it's just another Sand Trooper. But the official stickered one was going crazy price during the show. Like anytime one hit like eBay or something, it was getting bought out. It was like somebody was just buying them up, buying them up. They were getting upwards to like $150 at the time. I think it's settled down now around 60. But that's still really good considering Target still has the shared one on their website for $15. You can get it readily. So it's still a 400% increase just for the sticker. And again, the Mandalorian only shared with the Funko Shop, so that makes sense. That one's definitely, especially if the show's a hit, that's going to go through the roof. And then we also had the Vader, which you were looking for especially.
Yeah, so this was actually one of my personal favorites for the whole show. I am personally collecting all the Vaders, so this was pretty cool. It's actually a debut piece. It will be shared with Target, and there's a couple more of those, but we'll talk about those in a second. It's pretty cool. It's made by the artist Futura, and it's either the Bespin or the Rogue One pose, but it has this really cool design on it. I'm probably gonna try to pop a picture up somewhere. But yeah, he just like did this really cool design on it. It looks like little white, like almost like web like things or maybe electricity, something like that, and it just looks really cool. Really
Definitely,
clean pop.
yeah, with the black
Yeah.
box too, looks really cool. And they also did, which they weren't at New York, but they did a small Boba Fett just like that, and and 10-inch Boba Fett, and they look sick as hell too. And those were at Target on Force Friday, which was during New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
So, and that guy I think comes out at Target in November sometime. So you got a whole month. The only thing that's kind of silly with it is because these guys come in a pop protector, which is the first time I think Funko's ever done that. They're shrink wrapped, but because it's the same as the one coming to Target, the New York sticker is on the front of the shrink wrap. So if you did open it, the sticker just gone,
Yeah.
which is kind of silly. Maybe to peel off and you can put it on the case, but that's kind of annoying. But whatever.
Especially for this one, like if you're gonna pay extra for the one with the sticker, you'd really want it on the pop itself.
Yeah, they probably should have opened them and just put the sticker on.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? But yeah, that was sold at the Entertainment Earth booth, who were doing a Target thing as well. And they had all the Target pops as an early release, but you had to win a lottery for that as well. So it's really hard. Like every single thing in the show, they don't want lines. The other things that Entertainment Earth had that were shared with Target were the Jokers, which they have 5 different color chromes. We have 4 of them here. So we have the green, the purple, which are iconic for the Joker. They have the silver chrome, orange chrome, and then they also had a T-shirt bundle that came with a black chrome Joker. So there's the 5 of those, and then lastly, they also had a golden Rock for the SmackDown anniversary. So Rock, the wrestler, Dwayne Johnson, he's just gold. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a random one, but you could also get that at Target. All of these you'll probably be able to find on your shelf there right now. And then Squirtle, also an early debut. He came out this weekend at Target as well, so you probably won't have a hard time finding him there. But this one has the New York sticker, so anything with that sticker goes for like double. So if you're a sticker collector, you kind of are going to want those, but they're not crazy expensive, so it's a nice one for the collection. And then one other one outside the Funko booth was the Chrome All Might. Funimation released that on their website this week. It had a $30 retail, so it's a little more expensive, but it's got a really nice box, kind of like the Vader with the black box. But they had a New York Comic Con debut sticker, and you can only get that at the show. The ones that they're selling on the website do not have that. And this is kind of hearsay, but I heard there was only a few thousand of the ones with the sticker at the show. So going forward, that might end up being, a more expensive piece. Kind of like the metallic Vegeta with the actual San Diego sticker is worth, a ton more than the shared one at this point. And then, we have a lot of the, not that they're not great pops, but the lesser ones. There's still a few strong ones in there. Like we said, Marty McFly was another one that everybody was asking for. Really cool in the spacesuit from the first movie. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. That's maybe one that I wanted the most out of everything. What else was pretty